Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one I'm going to show you guys my favorite 4 places for the new Rage plate, along also with Armor King would be one of them as well, so it'd technically be like my top 5, but you can see the showcase I did on Armor King to see how the Rage plate is on him. So I won't be running him in this video. The 4 I'm going to run are Hall of Fame Foley, BPP, Powerhouse Steiner, Bex, Showboat Becky, Bex, and then Dudenator. And it is quite good on all of them. What I'm going to do so you can actually see how good it is I'm going to run the setups without the plate and then add the plate. And then you can see how much of a difference it actually makes. Because a lot of times you just see a video and people are hitting like really hard and you're like, okay, that's great, but how much does the plate actually add? So this will show you how much the plate adds in this one. So you can decide where it's worth it for you. And then I will try and timestamp it for each particular character, right? So let's get started with Hall of Fame Foley. I'm on the CC account. This account does have both of his gears. Foley to make work, you need everything. So you want both of his gears and you want a Red Royal Rumble. So that's what we're going to start off with, Red Royal Rumble. The moveset is pretty straightforward. It's the two-handed bulldog, the pulling pile driver, and the sweet shin music. So 4 random jugs, and then you increase your MP by 5, put out another 4 random jugs. Of course, it's way more than that with the gear, and each jug adds 10% red gem damage, and then makes the board red. So you're getting 2 sets of these out, and then you're decreasing your juggernaut timers here with the sweet shin music, right? So I usually run Dude Love gear on Hall of Fame, so I swapped it over to Dude Love. Doesn't really matter. You can, do whatever you want. We'll go Cactus Jack Bronze, right? But he does have the gear. So there's that. Now, trainer setup, you really want Seth and you really want Goldberg. So to get the most out of him, you really need everything. And then this can be Piper or Bulldog, and then Bailey or Stunning Steve, 40% red, doesn't matter which, right? But once you have all that, and then for the whole showcase with this new plate, we're going to be running 100% strap with Fury 2s, so we're not skewing the damage at all. And we're going to go against BPP just for funsies. Not when we use Becky, of course. Foley's gameplay loop is really straightforward. It is slightly clicky because you click 4 moves, but I'm a Foley mark, so no surprise that I like this. So again, this is without the plate, and I will run each move twice to give you guys kind of a baseline for how hard it hits, and then put the plate on and run it twice. Just because there obviously can be some variances with Red Royal Rumble and things like that, Cascades, etc. And they all play really fast, so not much of a cascade. And you can see Foley hit for 73 million, which isn't terrible, but it's about right. That's about what he hits for normally, 73 million. Not crazy impressive, but he does just enough, especially if you have like a 150 strap and then substats. He does kind of just enough to win with the setup, right? But not necessarily do you feel super comfy with it, right? So I'll run it again, see what we hit for. And then we'll put the rage plate on, and it'll give you a really good idea how much it adds. So the first one was 73 mil. No red gem cascade, but a lot of reds there. And this one was 72.67. I would say 73 is about his average. I've ran a few recently on this account, as in today. And 73 is about the average I came up with. 72, I think, was my low. 77 was my high. So let's put the rage plate on and see how much it actually goes. We'll use 73 million for a baseline. And I can tell you how much because I tried it. But, spoilers. Yeah, I find it's not really useful to show a video of just how hard it hits with everything, because you don't actually know what plate is making the big difference, right? Or etc. So if you want to know how much the new plate adds, this is the best way to find out. As far as I know, no one else is doing this, but maybe they are. I don't watch anyone else's videos, to be fair. That's just because I'm busy and I do enough with champs, not because they're not good creators, by the way. I just do enough with champions videos recording my own. So, all right, here we go. 73 million is what we're looking to beat. Obviously, we proc the plate twice. If you didn't know, if you create 2 or more Juggernaut gems, it increases your gem and move damage. Nice cascade. We definitely have to run another one. Huge cascade. Yeah, this is definitely skewed with a huge cascade, but 99 million. Up from 73. That added like 20 million plus, but that was a big cascade, so do not count that. That would by far the biggest hit I've got with him, so don't count that. Anyway, Rage Plate, every time you make 2 Juggernaut gems, increase your gem and move damage by 50%. We really only care about the gem damage in all of these ones I'm going to show you today. Right, we'll run it again. Obviously, 99 million's more than enough to get it done with Foley. But he's getting 100% because we're throwing the Juggernaut gems twice. And then the reason it's so big is because there's the gem buff. I say this all the time, but if there's not a gem buff in play on the character or multiply gems, plates usually don't make a big difference, right? So if you're curious if this will be good on somebody, if they don't have a gem buff and they don't have multiply gems, the answer is going to be no, right? They need one of those 2 things. All right, so here we go. Second turn, or second try. 99 million on the first. Nice cascade there, but not massive like the first one. And 97 million there. I think my low was like 90 million with that. And basically, it adds almost 20 million on Foley, right? So very impactful, I would say. That kind of damage, you know, 90 mil puts you in pretty safe territory a lot of times in feud anyway. So yeah, it's pretty good on him, in my opinion. I think that's a good spot. All right, let's move now to somebody else. And this is somebody a lot of people really like, Scott Steiner. Let's go. Right, and they like to mark out for him, and there's not a lot of options, right? Okay, game. That was bizarre. Whatever. But this is one that is definitely an option. And again, you will be surprised, mostly because you're getting 2 sets of Juggernauts. We're going to take the Rage Plate off. 2 sets of Juggernauts with to get the buff on, and he's got a gem buff, right? So there's 2 options for the ultimate plate for him. So the first one is going to be this one, Bubba's Glasses. It adds 100% gem damage, okay? And the other one is the Purple Royal Rumble. I will show you the baseline damage with both, and then we'll go from there. Moves is triple purple. So you got the Moonsault Fall Away Slam. That's got the purple gems. You're choosing a row, so 7 times 21, it's like 145% gem damage, right? And then you're making gems purple, and then you're reducing them. Entourage for this, we got Woods and Lex. That gets you loaded in feud. 40% Rainbow here, and then you really, really, really need Orton to make this work. If you don't have Zombie Orton, just forget about it. It won't work. And then we do have on the CC account here the Hall of Fame moment, which is adding 75% more gem damage, which is good for about 6 to 8 million extra damage, if you're wondering. All right, but gameplay loop is pretty easy for this one too. I put the gem boost on the top row and then the other one beneath it. Just the order they're in, right? So I just go here and then there, and it's you know, pretty straightforward, right? Okay, boom. And again, this is with just the purple plate. I will probably only run this one once because there's not really any variance unless I get a huge cascade. That was decent. Actually was a big one. We hit for 80 million. That was definitely bigger than expected. Because we hit a purple cascade. I will run that again. Certainly bigger than expected, but not bad, right? I think I was averaging about 75, if I'm not mistaken. See, that was only 67. So just completely throw that first one out, right? And that was 0 cascades, so you're going to be as low as 68, and most of the time probably I think I was thinking someone else for the other average. So yeah, that 80 was a huge anomaly, right? But you can see how much extra each purple gem adds. So I mean, call it like 72, 73 million, almost exactly the same damage as Foley, actually pre whatever. Purple Rumble is definitely more damage, by the way. But if you only have one, it's probably living on Muda. So Bubba Specs is a nice alternative, and it doesn't take as long, right? So there is that too. But yeah, don't have that 80 mil in your mind that you're going to hit that hard most of the time. I would say just figure 70 million and you'll be safe, right? Again, 70 million kind of borderline for what we want to be doing these days. Although that purple plate is not in high demand. The purple Royal Rumble, you know, just about everyone would put it on Muda, rightfully so. So, but this is definitely going to add some. Nice little cascade there. You can see that hit for 90 million, right? Which was a decent one. I don't want to take forever, so I'll just say like 85-ish is probably pretty normal on that, on the Purple Rumble. 85, closest to 90 sometimes, right? That wasn't as big an anomaly as the 80 million on the other one. All right, now let's toss the Rage Plate on, and I'll show you both of them with the Rage Plate. But again, now you're getting Steiner into that range where you can use him with confidence, right? And do keep in mind, I do have the moment. If you don't have the moment, knock about 7 million off of what you're seeing, right? Ish, give or take. A little more on the Royal Rumble, a little less on the purple plate. And then now, of course, we're getting an additional 100% gem damage. See, that one, we didn't have as many purples on the board, so we actually didn't get the whole board. So not nearly as good. We did hit 102, which was like a 12 million boost, which is not bad. I will just run that one more. There we go. No, really good cascade going into the Rumble. Another nice one there. You can see 117 million, right? So you can see it's going to make about somewhere between a 12 to 20 million range difference with the Purple Royal Rumble on average, right? I'd say you could figure 15 million. 15 million out of a primary plate is a really nice damage spike, to be honest, guys. Now, if you don't have the Rumble, then you can still use the glasses and still hit quite hard with this setup. Because His move animations are really good speed too, actually. It's probably one of the faster superplexes, honestly. Usually they're really kind of a slower animation. That one feels pretty good. And you can see here, 80 million, right? So it doesn't add nearly as much without the purple Royal Rumble. About 10 mil over the regular one on an average hit, without the purple Rumble. But it's still usable-ish. Obviously, the Rumble... I mean, 80 million is pretty usable. Who are you kidding? But it's not... In, like, showdowns sometimes, it's just not enough. And if there's ever, like, massive health boosts, you know, even sometimes 100 million isn't enough anymore when there's massive health boosts. So, yeah. I would say I would definitely, if it want to ideally have a purple rumble on him if I was a BPP mark like I am Foley. Because then you're going to consistently go, you know, up a little bit. And that was 83 million, right? So, again, like, you're going to get maybe like 10 mil without the purple Royal Rumble and then 20 mil with the purple Royal Rumble. So pretty decent. Now, I saved the best two for last. We're going to go with Showboat Bex first. And then I will save the best for last, Dudenator. All right. Showboat Bex. All right. So this Becky does have the moment, which in this case adds 50% gem damage and multiply gems times 3. Also gives her 100% health, which on a showboat is absolutely nutty. Evolution moment, one of the best in the game, in my opinion. And just everyone on it is useful, too. So just a great moment. We'll take the Rage Plate off to start, just like we have been, and we will leave the purple plate on. That's the ultimate plate for Becky. Or if you want a 2-clicker, you would use... well, you know, if you want a 2-clicker, then you would use the multiply. No, I don't think that works. You would still use that plate. Now, taking advantage of Woods, and I'm going to remove Leo because most don't have him. And let's just go double zombie, with Brett being the one you would want for 60% in purple multiply. But Armor King coming in clutch to get Becky loaded, which technically you could do it anyway. With any other 2 MP person and using Santa. But if you don't have NOD Rock, Armor King is great here. So we're going to use Armor King and just triple purple. Because we want the extra 50% with the second purple move, we're going to use that, right? Oh, this also has Becky's gear, which adds like 4 or 5. Yeah, 4 multiply strength, so it makes her multiplies bigger, right? And I will show you with the purple and then without. Obviously, because the Rage Plate only needs 2 Juggernauts, we do want to use both sets of Juggernauts. Be aware with Becky that you do not want to put the Protect Gem. So the Protect Gem Juggernauts put Protect Gems out in the middle. So just put everything on the top row and you won't ever run into problems. If you put these in the middle row, they will get covered up by the Protect Gems, and then you will do absolutely nothing. Just be aware of that. And this one, as long as this one is very straightforward on the damage, we don't need to run it a bunch. 104 million damage. It's right around that every single time, right? So we don't need to do it again, because that's just standard about what she hits with that setup. Now let's put the Rage Plate on and add another 100%. I love this plate on Bex, by the way. I think it's such a good spot for it. All right, so 104 million up to... 122 million. So it adds almost 20 mil on Bex as well, right? So very nice boost for a primary plate. I think you guys would all agree. 20 mil on a primary plate is very, very nice. So yeah, love it on Bex. Now, save the best for last. I am biased because I do love me some Dudenator Sami, because he's really versatile. He's got a 2-click moveset, a 4-click moveset, and also a 3-click. I'm not going to show the 3-click. It hits harder than the 2-click by a little bit, because then you can use Seth. But we're interested in the 2-click for really speed and no reversals, or the 4-click for insane damage when it comes to Sami. And it gets more insane with the Rage Plate on the 4-click in particular. And he's so easy to run. Okay, we want Blue Rumble. Best spot for the Blue Rumble in the game, in my opinion. Love it on Dudenator. It basically nearly doubles his damage, right? Moveset's the same: Blue Thunder Bomb, Mikonoshu Driver, and Haluva Kick. And then your entourage is the same, 2-click or 3-click. In case they have MP down, I run it the same either way. But Woods, Kofi, Santa gets 10 yellow MP and 6 blue MP. So that gives us enough to 3-click or a 4-click or 2-click, right? The difference would be if you want to run at 3-click and hit harder, use sub what's his butt here? You can run Lawler and then Seth for an extra Juggernaut gem, because each Jug gem he throws out increases his blue gem damage by 100%. So you'll get an additional Jug for 100% blue gem damage. You can see right here with 7 blue gems, it's 700% blue gem damage, and then we make the whole board blue. So Blue Royal Rumble is massive, and if you do it twice, it's 1400%. Sami is crazy, crazy. So let's show you with the Blue Royal Rumble, and I'll do a 2-click and a 4-click, and then we will put the Rage Plate on and do a 4-click and a 2-click. All right. So the 2-click is Juggies, and then Boomy. And we hit for 112 million on 2 clicks. Very nice. That also currently doesn't have a reversal issue. Pretty standard damage for Sami. Now let's show you the 4-click. 4-click gets really crazy. This does have MP up reversal for 4-click, but, you know, who cares? If they don't have MP up, if you need to, like, he's great for draining high health opponents with very little reversal worry other than the MP up this way. So that's your gameplay loop, and then you hit the finisher. So much gem damage. 172 million on that. And honestly, that was a really bad cascade on the Blue Rumble. So that could have went much higher. I've done as much as 190. And that was the lowest hit I had. You know what? I'll run one more with that, and then we'll put the plate on. Just so I don't make you guys think the plate's adding way, way more than it is. I should run one more because that was really low. I do have the moment for Sami as well. I forgot to mention that on the CC account, which is adding, I think it's 75%. It's either 75 or 50% gem damage. So you'll need to account for that too. Not that it matters. He hits hard enough. But yeah. All right. This is much better because we're going to get almost 2 full boards. And there you can see 199 million, right? So 190, I'd say like 185 to 190 is pretty average. Now let's put the rage plate on and then run 4-click and then go back to 2-click. And you'll see, I think, why I say this is my favorite spot for it. Also, just in general, like, it's really nice to have more primary plate options, and Juggernaut has almost no plate love, so I'm very excited to have this plate in the game. I think it's a great plate choice. I love that it's a lower count jug. So anyway, here we go. Nice little cascade there. Plenty of blues on the board. Yeah, that's a good hit. And you can see 271 million. So that basically adds 70 million to 80 million on Dudenator, 4-click. Which for a primary plate, 70 or 80 million's kind of insane. So yeah, Dudenator's easily my favorite spot for it, hands down, not even close. It's also very good on Armor King. I would put him in front of Foley and BPP. Probably not in front of Bex, though, as far as priority for it. Now, let's show you guys, as promised, the 2-click. It obviously doesn't have as big of impact on 2-click because it's only adding 50% instead of 100. But it is noticeable. And also great for, this is my preferred feud build with him right here. Showdown, I tend to use the 4-click when I need more health because there's way more health in Showdown. Feud, though, it's always 2. And that was like a really, really bad one. You can see we left a ton on the board. Still hit 111. And normally, the first one we did 100 million. So I'll run that once more because that was about as bad as it can get. But it's still an 11 million boost over the first one. And I will probably make a sheet for this as well, right? And maybe run a couple other people with it when I make the sheet. This is just kind of my preliminary sheet. Like, you guys know what I mean with the plate video, the full ones that I do. I'll eventually get one for the rage plate, but that was going to take longer because I have to play way more people. And I thought with there being stip and stuff, this was good information to get out now. There we go. And you can see there's the 122 million and about 20 million more. So even 2-click, it adds about 20 million Dudenator, but 4-click, it's an insane amount, right? Upwards of 70, 80 million. So yeah, I think this is a way stronger plate on these kind of people. Again, if you're looking who else you could put it on, they either need big multiplies, preferably, or a ton, or they need a big gem buff, right? Every one I used had a theme here. Just in looking, maybe some other ones that could be okay. There's probably not a lot, to be honest, of other spots that I would use it. I'm trying to think. If you don't have OG drip, maybe Umaga potentially. Although he's not great. Tori Wilson has some potential because she's got juggernauts, but yeah, Tori Wilson probably has some potential. Showboat Tori Wilson. Not as much as any of these, but she could be like maybe a B tier for it. Somebody like what's his butt? Captain Mario. I'm drawing a blank. I'll get there in a second. Lou Albano would be a decent spot. Don't say Tech Steiner because it's only going to add 50% and he has nothing to boost it. So yeah, not Tech Steiner. No. trying to, I think that's about the other spots where you could maybe do something super creative with it. Potentially, Rey Mysterio in boss battle, the zombie Rey, potentially, but he's really hard to make work. So those are probably the big ones, I would say. And I don't know that there's anyone else. Maybe Ali in boss battle as well, because he's got a juggernaut thing. So maybe Ali. Oh, Molly Holly, probably a little bit, huh? Molly Holly with the juggernaut move. And then she makes yellows with a yellow Royal Rumble. It could be okay. It's only going to add like 50% though. Yeah, not Molly Holly because you got to swipe for a turn. So no, probably not her. Yeah, those are probably the big ones. Other potential spots that I can think of right off the top of my head. So yeah, that's what I got, guys. But I don't think any of them will be world beaters, right? Maybe Grayson Waller in boss battle. He's got a juggernaut move. Striker Dom, if you don't have the anniversary X break, it could be really good on Striker Dom to sub with that. But it's only 50% more gem damage, so I don't think it's enough. But that with like the rainbow explosion is maybe, you know, a good spot for it. I will probably do that one later. And then there's maybe some slight possibility with somebody like D'Lo Brown. He's got, I see, a green gem buff, but it's not real big. I don't know. I'd have to look. Anyway, yeah, Captain Lou. Bradshaw has an awesome Juggernaut set, but you can't really load it unless you're top lane in feud, so it's not really worth talking about. So yeah, I think that's most of them. Those are the other ones that I would have to play and look into that I didn't play yet today. That's at least 2 or 3 more hours, 4 more hours worth of work. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I will put timestamps to all of the builds in the description for you to refer back to. And please share this with your faction and your friends so they can actually know how much of a difference the skill plate makes, instead of just seeing a big hit and having no idea what the skill plate is actually doing for you. I feel like this is way more helpful and useful. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and remember to like, subscribe, and share because that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Good luck out there. Yeah, I love this plate. For me, number one's definitely going on Dudenator. Abso-freaking-lutely.